all about finding your purpose and finding, more depth within yourself of who you are, what you want to do. Like, you're not feeling fulfilled in your life, you're not feeling satisfied. So it's, well, what do I do? Like, how do I move on from there? What is my purpose? And I think the reason why so many of us question things like this is because the answer is so simple. And I think has to do with a lot in life, right? I think as human beings, we're natural overthinkers and we just overcomplicate the very simple things. And I've realized for me, when it comes to purpose, it's truly about aura and energy and the type of woman you want to be, or the person, the guy, whatever, the type of person that you want to be. And I've given myself time to reflect on my childhood and I'm still like very young, but I have lived years of years of experience. And I thought back to my childhood, and I remember when everyone would tell me, like all my cousins and family friends and whatnot, they'd be like, Taj, you were so chatty in your childhood. And like in my teenage years, I was very shy, quiet, reserved. I feel like a lot of people relate to this as well. And they were like, you were so chatty, you were so this, you were such a diva. What happened? Like, you're so quiet now. And I realized that children don't have, like, they are authentically themselves. If you look at children, right, like, they don't have any insecurities, they don't have any doubts, they don't have any expectations, they are just themselves. And they react by crying, and being really emotional, they get angry really quickly, blah, blah, but they don't have any external influences on them. They're literally themselves, because that's how they are, right? Like, they're so young, they're so naive, they don't know anything about the world, and they're just themselves. And as we grow, we tend to conform and shape and mold ourselves to fit into society. And I think we lose a lot of our authentic selves. And I don't think, lose is not the right word. We hide it. And I think our brain is a supercomputer, right? It's essentially like an input-output machine. Like, whatever you think becomes your reality. So when you train and wire your brain to think and act and feel a certain way, that's the result, the life that you're gonna have. And I realized now I'm finally stepping back into the talkative, chatty Taj, like the whole I am who I am, blah, blah, blah. But there was such a long period of my life where I was so different than what I am now. And I was very reserved, I was very shy, I was very quiet, I was insecure. I didn't like the way I looked, I didn't like the way I acted. And I feel like I'm still not 100% and I'm still working, but I recognize that. I'm aware of it, as you might be now as well, right? And so how does that correlate with purpose? I think, like I said earlier, we've overcomplicated the word purpose. I don't think it's this statement or like it's a blanket fact, right? I think it's more of a way of being, of life, of being this individual, right? Whoever it is that you want to be, whatever personality traits that you either had when you were younger that you've suppressed, or traits that you want to acquire yourself. Because I really do think that you are an avatar and you get to choose, whatever feels best and works best for you, as long as it's working for you and it feels authentic for you. I think, if you want to look this certain way and you're trying to copy someone, or like if you're trying to do something just because you want to fit in, like none of that, just something that makes you feel super happy and beautiful and amazing. So when it comes to finding your purpose, I think it's stepping into who it is that you want to become, right? Like, you want to become confident, you exude that confidence. You could exude that energy. You want to become wealthy, you exude that energy. And with that, then you take actions and you live that life and that lifestyle of someone with those certain traits that you want. So I don't think it's this is it, this is that, like, I'm going to do this, right? Because I think as human beings, we should be constantly changing, constantly evolving, and become like the better versions of ourselves, or like, there are ups and downs in life, but bounce back from the down. So when it comes to this topic, I think it's truly about the lifestyle and the life that you want to live, the aura that you want to give off, the type of person you wish to be or become. And it's as simple as that, right? It's what kind of lifestyle do you want to live? You know, are you going to be kind to strangers? Are you going to be, you know, working hard towards your goals and your dreams? Are you going to continue working no matter how many failures or how many times you failed at something? And I'm going to make a separate video on this because I think this topic is really important. And it's, do you wish to be a winner, or are you content with being a loser? Okay, and I don't mean this in a negative way. I think of loser as more of a neutral connotation. I don't mean it in a negative way, okay? Again, with what I say, I really do think life is a game, and it's, you're gonna win or you're not, right? And winning requires failing over and over and over again, but there's a point in your life where you're gonna win because you're not gonna give up. So like, you're gonna win, right? Or you die, but you're gonna win. And I've seen so many people, I mean, again, like, being a winner is very rare because so many people, you know, give up and therefore they lose. So, you know, working towards your dreams and your goals and your aspirations, and I realized everyone has something so different about them going for them, right? If we were all liking and wanting to be the same thing, we'd all be robots, but we're not, right? We have different dreams, we have different visions, we have different lifestyles that we want to live, or some of us have the same things, which is fine, but in a different interpretation, maybe in a different perspective. But yeah, so when it comes to finding your purpose, I think it's not about something you're looking for or like something that you know, are trying to seek out. It's within, and it's the aura and the energy and the essence that you carry and you embrace. And it's the daily interactions, the life that you envision for yourself, and it's all of that just added up together. So I don't think it's something you need to seek outside of yourself. It's something you need to ask within, which obviously you probably know. I don't know if this makes sense or if I'm just talking and it's like not really hitting. But yeah, I think it's really truly about embracing who you are as an individual. I think that's your purpose. And this, I kind of want to go into like meaning of life. I remember when I would contemplate this question so much and I'd be like, what's the meaning of life? Like, you know, like, what is the meaning? And I always wanted an answer because I was like, there has to be an answer to this question. And I realized, well, there's not an answer. There is no meaning to life, right? Like, I really do believe it's all about just existing. Like, that is, I mean, if you want an answer, that's the meaning. It's just being you and just literally existing and being present and taking everything in around you, because this whole thing, it's temporary, right? And you need to remind this every day, and I do too. I do too, okay? Like, this is all temporary. Like, I'm grateful and I'm lucky and I'm blessed to be here, and like, I get to live. I love changing everything to get instead of like have or must or something. Like, I get to do this. It makes a difference. But yeah, I hope that you get to this point where you're like, I already knew that. She didn't really say anything different, because again, I think we overcomplicate. Like, you're trying to find something different in this video, or you're trying to find something that's like, you know, like the information, or like something that's like, whoa, I never knew that. I think our purpose is to just exist and become the best versions of ourselves, and just being kind, being, you know, positive as much as you can, you know, remembering that we're blessed, remembering that life works for us, remembering that we are creators, and that everything here right now is temporary, and that we must take everything in and be very blessed and grateful for everything that we have. I think that's that. And from that, you're gonna, I mean, obviously I'm not just saying like sit here and just do all that for the rest of your life. I'm saying have aspirations, have goals, have dreams, but you're gonna have a lot of that centered more towards you and what it is that you truly want. Like, for example, right, I just talk about me. I'm not going to go too into depth, but you know, I really want to travel the world, right? Like, and I really want to, and that's part of my purpose, because that's me, that's what I like, right? And so I want to travel the world. I want to grow my YouTube community. I want to live in the city that I've been trying to manifest and live in. So that's my purpose. My purpose is to just be me, and it's to just embrace what it is that I like. I love fashion, I love makeup, I love beauty, I love reading, you know, that's my purpose, to just do that. You already know the answer, and the answer is literally just being you and living the life that you want and desire, which is so incredibly possible to live. And yeah, so I think my overall message is genuinely to just be you. Your purpose is to just be you, and you are enough. You are more than enough. And I'm gonna literally tell you why you're more than enough, okay? Number one, you exist, okay? Before you're like, well, no, there are 8 billion people. Listen, the possibility of you being alive and existing is 1 in 300 trillion. 1 in 300 trillion. That is insane. Like, you being alive right now, you essentially won the lottery to exist, okay? Like, you already, like, it was a miracle for you to exist, and now you're discovering what it is and who you are and what you want with your life and what you desire, what makes you happy, what brings you joy. You're reminding yourself that you're loved and that you're appreciated and that you belong here, and you're trying to live this abundant life that you were meant to live. That in itself is beautiful. And when you embody and carry this energy, I mean, anything is possible for you, and you're gonna accomplish everything you set your mind to. Why wouldn't you, right? So yeah, I think that's what you need to remind yourself, that you're enough and you're perfect just the way you are. And I say this in all my videos, and it's because I want you to know that I'm not gonna feel like this every single day of my life. I am human, right? So I share the messages, and this is kind of like a reminder to myself as well. Maybe my future selves, maybe my future kids, I don't know, but this is a reminder to me as well, as much as it is to you. So maybe like I'll rewatch this when I'm feeling low, maybe I'll revert back to this, but I think the biggest thing is coming back to this, having this overall conclusion at the end of the day, reminding yourself this as much as you possibly can. There's so much chaos and so much going on in all of our lives, and we're not going to constantly feel this way. And I don't think we're meant to. I don't think we're meant to sit here in the state of mind where we're constantly just thinking life is great, we're amazing, we're perfect. No, but I think as long as we revert back to it, as long as we come back to this feeling, I think that's more than enough. So yeah, I don't know if this really helped you in any way. I hope it does. But yeah, so purpose, be you. Just embrace your likes, your dislikes. Think back to who you were as a child. Think back to things that you've suppressed, you know, and forgive everything and everyone, even if they did anything terrible or negative or whatever towards you. Just forgive and let go, and realize that it's no one's fault, right? I realized this after reading 4 Agreements, that it's really truly no one's fault. Like, we blame everything else around us so much. It's just hurting you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you constantly blame other people, it's just gonna hurt you. It's just gonna put you in a negative state of mind. And why would you do that? So literally, forgiveness is the greatest thing you can ever do in your life. For yourself, not for others, but like for yourself, right? And you're gonna let go of so much hurt and resentment, whether people intentionally hurt you, whether they didn't, whether it was miscommunication, whatever it was. Like, you forgive and it's better for you. You feel the sense of relief and you're like, yes, you know, everything is just going away. So yeah, I think that's essentially all I have. And yeah, I think I used to really think, you know, like, purpose is this, like, my life purpose is this, my meaning of life is this, when I realized, like, I'm here, my existence, your existence is so incredibly rare. So you are perfect, just coming up into this world, right? And you're fine, you're good, and your purpose is to just be your authentic self. And what does that mean? Just what do you like to do? and embrace that. You like to do that, right? You love to read, you love to do this, you love to draw, you love to whatever. And honestly, like being wealthy, being rich, being hot, being skinny, that's fine. Okay, I just want to have this in last minute, but like I do not want anyone to ever feel like you're being too materialistic or you're chasing this. Like, I want to live a luxurious lifestyle. That doesn't make me materialistic. That doesn't make me arrogant or whatever. I don't want you to associate anything as really truly negative, as long as it's like we have morals, right? So we're human, we're good human beings. But when you chase things like money, success, fame, that's fine. There's no harm in that. Why not? Like, again, everything's temporary. If that makes you happy, not like you're chasing it because, you desire it in a twisted way or in a negative way, but like if that makes you happy, if you want to live a lavish lifestyle, if you want to be a famous celebrity, if you want to give back to people, like those are good causes as well. I don't see anything wrong with that. It's fine. If that makes you happy and if you want to do that and your heart desires it and you're like, yes, that's the kind of life I want to live, go for it. Go for it, right? Like, truly, I don't want anyone to ever feel like they're hiding what it is that they truly desire because it's not really accepted in society. No, a lot of people are victims, right? A lot of people are victim blamers. A lot of people are like projecting their insecurities towards others. Don't listen to people in society. You have to really think about what it is that you want. Forget everyone else. Like, blindfolds on, just you. Okay, so yeah, I think a lot of it also has to do with like sitting down and just reflecting, drowning out the noise, draining out the noise, and just reflecting on you, because that's really going to help you figure out who your authentic self is. And it's going to give you that childhood state of mind, or like that little kid, little girl, little boy version of you where you were just you, without any expectations, without nothing else in your life, preventing or shaping or molding you. It's just you. And the beauty of all this is like, as we age and as I'm going to age, like we're going to fully lean into ourselves more. So I think it's also an age thing, but it's also a mindset thing too, right? Like, I really do think age is just a number. And, I've met a lot of people that are so wise for their age. And I've also met a lot of people where I'm like, oh, you're this age and you still act a little immature. But yeah, so essentially purpose is just who you authentically are, and you embody that and you embrace that. And I think that is just the simple thing, because you could overthink this and you could be like, no, but I want this, I'm reaching for this, I want this career, I want these grades. But like, do you really? Or what do you truly want? And from that, you continue growing and evolving and asking yourself questions. But I do want to say before this ends, I cannot tell you what your purpose is. Like, I don't know you. I've never lived in your shoes. I don't know what you've gone through in your life. And no one else can, okay? No one else can tell you what your purpose is. No one else can tell you what you should want in your life or what you should have in your life. No one else can, only you can. So you need to ensure that you are making decisions and thinking for yourself. You are asking questions, you are staying curious, you're opening your mind, you're embracing evolution. I don't look like who I did. I wasn't who I was last year, and I hope I'm not who I am right now next year, because I want to constantly grow and evolve. And in the beginning, with what I said with like themes, my overall theme is like, I want to live this lifestyle. I want this in my life. I want to travel. I want to do this. Those are my overall themes. But the person I am, like right now at this exact moment, I hope I'm not her right now. I hope I'm more evolved. I hope that I have more knowledge and I have more wisdom and I have more other stuff going in my life, right? So yeah, that's all I have for this one. Bye. Love you.